In today's video, we're going to talk about something a lot of freelancers and creators don't think about until it's too late: insurance for your side hustle. What's up, you guys? My name's Ashley, and if you've ever wondered how to protect the business you're building on the side, this video is going to break it down in simple terms. When you're freelancing, selling online, or creating content, you're not just earning extra income. You're running a real business, and just like any business, it comes with risks. That's where insurance comes in. So let's dive into why side hustles actually need protection in the first place. At first, a side hustle feels small. Maybe you're designing websites, running an Etsy shop, or editing videos on the weekends. But even small businesses can face big risks. Think about it. What happens if a client refuses to pay and tries to blame you for bad work? Or if a customer gets hurt using something you sold them? Or even if your laptop gets stolen and you can't finish projects on time? Insurance is about protecting yourself from the costs that could wipe out your profits or even put you in debt. The goal is to make sure one mistake doesn't end your entire hustle. Next, we're going to talk about the types of insurance that actually matter. There are a few different types of insurance that freelancers, creators, and side hustlers should at least know about. Each one covers a different kind of risk, and which one you need really depends on what kind of work you're doing. First off is general liability insurance. This is one of the most common policies for small businesses. It covers you if someone outside your business says you caused them harm, like property damage or physical injury. As an example, let's just say you're a freelance photographer, you're shooting in a client's office, and one of your light stands falls and cracks their floor. Or maybe you're hosting a client in your home office and they trip over a cable. General liability insurance helps cover the cost of those claims instead of you paying out of pocket. Next is professional liability insurance, which is errors and omissions. This is especially important if you offer services like design, coaching, consulting, editing, or anything similar. It covers you if a client says you made a mistake that cost them money. For example, you're a freelance social media manager. You schedule a campaign for the wrong date and the client says it caused them to lose sales. Or maybe you're a web designer and a site you built has bugs that crashes during launch. Professional liability helps with the legal fees and potential settlement. Next is business property or equipment insurance. This protects the tools you use to run your side hustle, like laptops, cameras, or even inventory. Most renters or homeowners policies don't cover business-related equipment, so this fills the gap. For example, if your laptop gets stolen from a coffee shop while you're editing videos, or your camera gear gets damaged during a shoot, this type of insurance is going to help replace it without draining your savings. Next is business owner's policy. A business owner's policy is basically a bundle. It usually combines general liability with property insurance and sometimes adds extras. It can be a bit more affordable than buying each policy on its own, especially if your side hustle is growing. For example, if you're running an Etsy shop that's really starting to take off, you've got inventory in your garage and customers visiting your house to pick up orders, a BOP would cover both liability and your store products, which gives you protection on both sides. Next is product liability insurance. If you sell physical products, especially things people use or consume, this one's really important. It protects you if your product harms someone or causes damage. As an example, maybe you sell handmade candles on Etsy. One customer leaves a candle burning too long and it causes a fire. Even though they misused it, they could still try to hold you responsible. Product liability helps cover you in those situations. Next is cyber liability insurance. More side hustles are online, and with that comes the risk of hacks, data leaks, or payment fraud. Cyber liability insurance helps with the cost of recovering from a cyber attack. For example, if you run an online coaching business and your client data gets exposed in a hack, you may be responsible for notifying clients and offering credit monitoring. Cyber insurance helps cover those costs and any legal issues. Next is commercial auto insurance. If you drive for your hustle, delivering goods, visiting clients, or even ride sharing, your personal car insurance won't cover it. That's where commercial auto comes in. For example, if you run a small catering side hustle and you use your car to deliver food, if you get into an accident on the way to a job, your personal auto policy could deny the claim. Commercial auto insurance makes sure that you're covered. And lastly, health and disability insurance. When you're self-employed, you don't have an employer providing health or disability coverage. These can be overlooked, but they're what protect you if you can't work. For example, imagine you break your wrist and can't edit videos for a week. Disability insurance could help replace some of your income while you recover. Health insurance, of course, keeps medical bills from piling up if something bigger happens. By looking at these categories, you can start to see which ones fit your work work best. The idea isn't to buy every policy right away. It's to think through your biggest risks and cover the areas that would hit hardest if something went wrong. Let's go through a few more examples. So imagine you're a freelance photographer, you show up to a wedding, and someone actually trips over your tripod, injures themselves, and wants you to cover medical costs. Without liability insurance, that could be thousands of dollars out of your pocket. Or say you're a graphic designer, you make a logo for a client, but they later say you copied another company's design and sue you for damages. Professional liability insurance would help cover the cost of defending yourself. These aren't just scare tactics, these are real examples of what can happen when your side hustle grows. Now, how to pick the right coverage. So how do you know which policy you actually need? Start by asking, what's the biggest risk in my side hustle? If you work with clients, professional liability is key. If you sell products, general liability might be the priority. If you rely on expensive gear, property insurance should be on your list. The second step is to check your contracts. Some clients actually require proof of insurance before they'll work with you. This is common with bigger companies or agencies. And finally, think about your income. You don't need to overinsure a side hustle that only makes a few $100s a month. But once you start earning steady income, it's definitely worth investing in coverage to protect it. Now let's talk about some common mistakes to avoid. A few mistakes freelancers and creators make when it comes to insurance are as follows. Thinking personal insurance covers business work. Your homeowners or renters insurance usually doesn't cover your side hustle equipment or liability. Waiting until something bad happens. You actually can't buy insurance after the fact. You need it in place before you face a problem. Overinsuring too soon. Don't buy every policy at once. Start with what matters most for your line of work, then expand as your business grows. Avoiding these mistakes can really help you save money and give you peace of mind. Now, let's talk about some of the pros and cons of getting coverage, because I know that it can feel confusing and just you're probably wondering, do I actually really need this? So starting off with the pros, you protect yourself from a big financial loss, and it's just going to give you that peace of mind. It also makes you look more professional to clients. You also can relax knowing that one mistake won't end your entire side hustle. Now for the cons. Of course, it is an extra cost on top of your business expenses. Policies can feel confusing at first, but honestly, use ChatGPT and ask it to explain in simple terms, or come back and watch more of our videos. If your hustle is very small, the cost might feel higher than risk. But for most freelancers and creators, the peace of mind is definitely worth it. If you're not sure where to get started with different types of business insurance, I actually have a link that I put down in the description below that shows you the best business insurance. Once you click that link, there's a couple options here. So they've got the Hartford. So this is comprehensive business coverage, covers businesses of all sizes and industries. Customize your level of coverage. Over 200 years experience, employee benefits available. All you have to do is type in your zip code and then it will populate the top best business insurance in your area. The next one is called Next, and this is 100% dedicated to small business. Insurance for dozens of business sectors from financial services to retail. 11 types of coverage available, including general liability, workers' comp, and liquor liability. You can get a super quick quote right here. Another one that popped up is Simply Business. And so this one is business insurance starting as low as $20 a month. Get estimate in just 3 steps. So whichever one you want to check out, you can just click learn more, and then you can go ahead and get a quote from each of them. It'll just make the process easier so you'll have a starting point. So should you get insurance for your side hustle? Here's my take. If your side hustle involves working with people, selling product, or using expensive equipment, insurance is 1000% worth looking into. But if your hustle is very casual, like reselling a few items online, it might not be necessary yet. But once you start earning steady income, signing contracts, or investing in gear, it's definitely time to protect yourself. At the very least, get a quote. That way, you know what it would cost and can make a real decision from there. As a side note, I know all of this can sound overwhelming, especially when you're just starting out. It feels like one more thing on that long to-do list. But the thing is, you don't need to have it figured all out today. Even like I said, looking into a single policy is a really good first step forward. Protecting your side hustle is really about protecting the time, energy, and passion that you've already put into it, and you've worked too hard to let one unexpected problem take that away. So if you want to compare business insurance options in your area, make sure you use our exclusive link down in the description below. I do want to note that these are affiliate links, which means we may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. So if you do choose to use our links, we just want to thank you so much for your support in advance. This channel is dedicated to helping you understand insurance in simple terms so you can make smart choices for your life and business. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and leave any comments or questions below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.